We're taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. We are continuing to demand answers from city leaders about last month's water crisis in West Baltimore. And another delay in City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby's federal trial, the new trial date, and the new request for a gag order. And a big night for the Orioles. The team is still vying for that wild card spot. We will take a look at their upcoming chances to grab it coming up. Fox 45 News Midday starts right now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Shannon Lilly. We begin with a city in crisis. Fox 45 News is continuing to demand answers from city leaders about last month's water crisis in West Baltimore. Residents tell us they don't trust the mayor when he says the water is now safe, and they want independent reassurance. Fox 45 News' Mackenzie Frost is continuing to take your concerns to the mayor, and she plans to press him for answers about the water crisis and the city's response at an event that is happening very soon. Stay with Fox 45 News for continuing coverage of the water crisis in Baltimore City and the city's response. We'll have complete coverage on Fox 45 News at 4, and you can find past coverage on our website. That is foxbaltimore.com. Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby will have to wait another 6 months for her federal trial. The judge in the case announced the jury trial will begin on March 27th. This is the second time the trial was moved. It was originally scheduled for May, then it was pushed to this coming Monday before being delayed again. Now, as we await the trial, prosecutors are asking for a gag order after comments made by Mosby's attorney. As Olivia Dance shows us, it comes after comments Mosby's attorney made right outside of court. Olivia.
Prosecutors in Marilyn Mosby's case are asking for a gag order, and a judge ruled that the earliest the court would consider that gag order is in October. But prosecutors requested the order just one day after Scott Bolden, who's Marilyn Mosby's defense attorney, made angry comments here outside the courthouse.
They've never prosecuted anybody before in the history of this country for taking their own money out of their retirement fund, 457B, under the CARES Act. Look at those numbers. Those are real numbers. They ought to scare you. Because if you're in the federal government, if you're in the state government, if you're an African-American politician working for the government, you are at risk because of the U.S. Attorney's Office in the city of Baltimore.
If a gag order is put in place, then the case would not be allowed to be discussed in public. In the filing, federal prosecutors say that, quote, Mr. Bolden's threatening comments pose the risk of prejudicing those jurors against the United States Attorney's Office. But a gag order has yet to be imposed, so we'll keep an eye on that. But also, as a reminder, Mosby's trial has been delayed until March 27th, 2023. For now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 Midday.
Topping national news, after more than a month without safe, clean drinking water, the state of Mississippi is lifting its boil water advisory for the city of Jackson. The notice had been in place since late July, and until now, residents have been relying on bottled water. Democrats are postponing a vote to protect same-sex marriage until after the midterms. Members of the bipartisan group negotiating the legislation say they believe they can get more Republican support after the elections are over. The White House is accusing Republican governors of using migrants as political pawns. Earlier this week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent 2 buses of migrants to Washington, D.C., and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis flew 2 planes of migrants to Martha's Vineyard. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is calling it shameful, reckless, and just plain wrong.
The fact that Fox News and not the Department of Homeland Security, the city, or local NGOs were alerted about a plan to leave migrants, including children, on the side of a busy D.C. street makes clear that this is just a cruel, premeditated political stunt.
The governors say the actions are in response to the Biden administration's inadequate immigration policies. Abbott tweeting, quote, "We will continue sending migrants to sanctuary cities like D.C. until President Biden and border czar Harris step up and do their jobs to secure the border." Here's our look at today's top trending stories. Trending number 1, Baltimore City Schools is apologizing for scheduling parent-teacher meetings on the Jewish holy day, Yom Kippur. The school system says schools are now being directed to provide alternative days and times to attend parent-teacher conferences to families who cannot attend because of Yom Kippur. Athletic games scheduled for the holiday have been postponed. Trending number 2, a 16-year-old Randallstown High School student is arrested after police say he brought a gun to school. The school says a staff member and a school safety assistant found a student acting suspiciously in the hallway. Trending number 3, Baltimore County school leaders are asking for input on what to do about inclement weather days. A survey released by the Maryland Department of Education includes questions like, is transition to virtual inclement weather days the preferred method of learning? You can find the survey on our website. That is foxbaltimore.com/links. Trending number 4, the biggest series of the year for the Orioles is as they take on the Toronto Blue Jays on the road tonight at 7. 20 games remain on the regular season schedule, and the Orioles are still trying to get that wild card spot. The 3-game series with Toronto could shift the momentum in their favor. Right now, Baltimore is 4.5 games back of that final spot held by Tampa. Toronto is a half game ahead of the Rays. The O's have 6 games left against the Jays. Trending number 5, this year's Maryland State Fair saw record attendance, more than 588,000 visitors. That's a lot. Well, that is a 16% increase, and the fair also saw an increase in livestock exhibits, an all-time gross income for fair attractions. The fair this year moved to a 3-weekend format instead of the traditional 12 straight days. Download the FOX45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news and weather anytime. Just search WBFF in your app store. Still ahead, the world's most advanced robot is talking about world domination. A little bit scary what the robot is saying about it. And speaking of robots, a food delivery robot is caught on camera rolling right through a crime scene, where it happened and what police were investigating. But first, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children may not be getting his and her Royal Highness titles after all. The latest family drama that's making headlines.
Well, temperatures will continue to warm up as we head toward the afternoon. Just a little bit warmer than yesterday, but plenty of sunshine with highs in the lower 80s, just slightly above average for this time of year. Officially getting to about 82 today, 62 tonight. Then we're back to the mid-80s on Saturday. That starts a warming trend for the final weekend of summer. We'll break this down for you coming up in just a few minutes from right now.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
A special master is being appointed to review documents seized by the FBI during a search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Federal Judge Raymond Deary will serve as master. Both the Justice Department and Trump's lawyers said they approve of the appointment. Deary is a former federal prosecutor who served as the chief judge of the federal court based in Brooklyn. As special master, Deary will sort through the documents to determine which cannot be used by the government due to executive privileges or attorney-client privileges. Taking a look at your social stream now. President Joe Biden is meeting with the families of 2 Americans that are still detained in Russia. He's spoken to the families of WNBA player Brittany Griner and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan before, but this time it will be in person. A White House official says, quote, the president wants to make sure their families know they remain front of mind and that his team is working on this every day. Griner was recently sentenced to 9 years in prison in Russia after she was detained this February for carrying vape cartridges with cannabis oil in her luggage. Whelan has been held by Russia since 2018 for alleged espionage. Now, looking online, we have Taryn here saying to bring Brittany Griner home no matter the cost. And here we have another one. Cindy says Griner's release should not take precedent over others. It wasn't her first time in Russia. She knew the risk. So some mixed reactions online. Look at that. California's mosquito fire is now the largest fire California has seen this year. It now spans 64,000 acres and it's just 20% contained. And there are concerns strong winds this weekend could fuel the flames before rain next week. Just some incredible video. That's absolutely terrifying. And we have this picture being tweeted online. Look at that. You can see the smoke just billowing out there. Ryan says, my mom flew back to Ohio today and took this picture from the mosquito fire from the plane. That is quite a view. And then Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children may not be receiving his and her Royal Highness titles after all. And it's a move that's reportedly left the couple furious. The British tabloid The Sun says this verdict comes after tense negotiations following Queen Elizabeth's death, while King Charles III reportedly agreed to bestow Prince and Princess titles to Archie and Lilibet. He stopped short of HRH titles as they are not working royals. Harry and Meghan lost their own HRH titles in 2020 after their move to America. So some people still talking about this online. We have one user who tweeted out that he was not sure why they would be furious if the parents are not HRHS because they're not working royals. Then why would the kids get the title? And then he says, seems logical to me. Another person kind of agreeing with him, saying that they shouldn't. They left the family, and that is why it's so hard for people to get. He says he stopped being a royal. Their children shouldn't have titles, period. The end. Still ahead, mourners are continuing to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth. We'll show you just how long the line is. Look at that. And how soon is too soon to put up Halloween decorations. It seems every year they go up sooner and sooner. Well, we'll break down the results of a new survey coming up.
FOX45 News segment is sponsored by BCSBN, the Black College Sports Broadcasting Network.
We are back with a live look over M&T Bank Stadium. In just 2 days, fans will pack this stadium for the Ravens' home opener game against the Miami Dolphins. Stay with us. We will get a check on the game day forecast coming up in just a second. As thousands line up to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth, UK officials are temporarily holding the line, preventing people from joining it. As the wait has grown to 14 hours, people are standing in line outside Westminster Hall, where the Queen is lying in state. The Queen will lie in state until her funeral on Monday. Making headlines, mortgage rates are now topping 6%. According to Freddie Mac, mortgage rates rose to an average of 6.02% this week. It's the highest rates have been since 2008, in the heart of the financial crisis. Mortgage rates have more than doubled since last year. Now, they may not be buying homes, but Americans are still spending more money. The Census Bureau reports retail sales rose unexpectedly by 0.3% in August. The jump is being tied to the continued drop in gas prices. The nationwide average for a gallon of gas is down to $3.69 a gallon. That's 6 cents cheaper than last week and 26 cents cheaper than at this time last month. Here in Maryland, you'll pay on average $3.47 a gallon. In your morning business report, Louis Vuitton is making changes to reduce energy use. The store will start turning off its lights at night and cut back on heat and AC use, all in an effort to cut energy consumption by 10% over the coming year. Netflix has big plans for its new ad-supported streaming tier. The company says it expects to reach more than 40 million viewers by late next year. Reports the company believes 13.3 million of these viewers will be from the U.S. The report adds Netflix executives have met with ad buyers looking to reach a deal, and says Netflix has told ad buyers to plan to release the ad-supported tier in November of 2023. All right, trending today, a food delivery robot in Los Angeles was determined to get where it needed to go and wouldn't let a little thing like a crime scene hold it up. Take a look. A video right here shows the audacious android going straight through the crime scene as cops looked on. All was okay, though. The police response was for an unfounded report of a shooting. Well, Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. Mark, I guess he was determined. This guy's got to get where he needs to go. Can you blame him?
He was programmed to make sure the pizza stayed hot. He didn't care.
Exactly. That's crucial. That's important.
I love it. I love it because, it's going to just be a matter of weeks before on the crime dramas are going to have this happen. Like little androids just popping through crime scenes.
And can you imagine being one of the officers there and being so focused and turning around and it's like, what is going on?
I hope so. The officers treated it fairly, though.
They did. Yeah, and the thing is, I've never seen one of these. Maybe they're more common in that area. I would be freaked out, I think, seeing that drive right on by.
Yeah, it's funny. You're right. I've seen the commercials for them. I'm with you. I'm looking for them. I'm actually a bit intrigued. It's always a great time to eat some wings or some pizza, but delivered by a machine would be kind of compelling.
It's the future.
Yeah.
I think it's the future right there.
The future is here.
I was honestly, when I read this, I was looking it up and I was like, are they being driven by someone? Was there someone behind that consciously deciding to drive through? But it looks like they operate on their own, and then someone can come in and kind of take control if they need to. But
they make their own decisions, Shannon. It's the future.
It's insane. It's crazy. Where are we going to be in 10 years? Who knows?
Well, coming up in Be More Lifestyle, I have a story about that coming up.
Oh, all right. Well, stay tuned for that.
Well, a little plug
there. See you soon. Well, it was a nice fall-like start to the day here at home. But in Alaska, a massive storm is moving in there. We have meteorologist Justin Chambers joining us with your worst weather in America. Justin.
Yeah, this is a huge storm that is actually barreling toward Alaska. This is from the National Weather Service in Anchorage, and it doesn't really do it justice with these pictures, but these are some 40-foot waves, and they're talking about 70 and 75-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, that's like hurricane strength, and that storm is barreling down toward the coast of Alaska. This is something that they just don't see hardly ever, so definitely keeping their eyes on that. As we are keeping our eyes on our weather here at home, temperatures staying near average for this time of year. Plenty of sunshine once again for your Friday afternoon. We will have warmer temperatures for the weekend. It will definitely feel more like summer, especially as we get into Sunday and Monday of next week, the final couple of days of summer. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. Numbers into the lower 80s into that 2 and 3 o'clock hour through the afternoon. And you can see our high temp of 82 today, still in the mid-80s for tomorrow. Your dew point trend looks like this. Those dew point numbers creeping up. Saturday and Sunday, upper 50s and lower 60s. Not in the uncomfortable category, but you're definitely going to feel muggier and more of that kind of summer feel. Great weekend to hang by the pool with those low to mid-80s for today and tomorrow. Even Sunday in the upper 80s with lots of sunshine. Upper 70s and lower 80s is what we're tracking for Central Maryland for our high temps today, just slightly above average. And up and down the 95 corridor, we'll keep those 80s going for D.C. and Baltimore, up into Philly, 73 down the ocean. Hey, great day for some football on Sunday. Not quite football weather, but we'll take it. Upper 80s by halftime for the Ravens and Dolphins over there at M&T Bank Stadium. Again, going to be one of the warmest days of the next 10. In fact, got another 90-degree day right there on Monday. The warmth stays with us even into Tuesday. Finally, those numbers back off a little bit. Thursday is the first day of fall, but upper 80s was what we'll see. But next weekend, for that first weekend of fall, numbers definitely will come back down.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Well, it is college football week 3. Big noon kickoff is on Fox 45 this Saturday, and coverage starts at 10 a.m. Oklahoma will take on Nebraska at noon, followed by BYU and Oregon at 3:30. Toledo is at Ohio State at 7, and Fresno State takes on USC at 10:30. Fox 45 News will air at 10:30 on our sister station, WNUV. Also on Saturday, the CW will be airing HBCU games throughout the season, courtesy of the Black College Sports Broadcasting Network. This week, Winston-Salem State University will be taking on Elizabeth City State University. Kickoff is at 11. Then on Sunday, the Ravens will have their home opener against the Miami Dolphins. Kickoff is at 1. The Washington Commanders will be taking on the Detroit Lions at 1 o'clock. You can watch that game live right here on Fox 45. Still ahead, Netflix is banking on its new ad-based streaming tier to bring in big business. When it will debut. And Walmart is already the country's largest grocery store. Now it wants to be the country's largest bank. The new plans the store is unveiling. It's 11:22. You're watching Fox 45 News, Midday. Netflix has big plans for its new ad-supported streaming tier. The company says it expects to reach more than 40 million viewers by late next year. The Wall Street Journal reports the company believes 13.3 million of these viewers will be from the U.S. The report adds Netflix executives have met with ad buyers looking to reach a deal and says Netflix has told ad buyers to plan to release the ad-supported tier in November of 2023. Walmart is looking to become the nation's biggest bank. In the coming weeks, the retailer will offer checking accounts to several thousand of its employees. It's still in the testing phase, but Walmart hopes to one day handle the personal banking of its 1.6 million employees. And speaking of Walmart, the store is rolling out a virtual try-on tool to help shoppers see how clothes would look on their body. Shoppers can choose a model that resembles their body type, skin tone, and hair color, and virtually try on more than 270,000 items across Walmart's private brands and some select national brands. Pretty cool. And time now for your lunch break. And if you want to snack on some Halloween candy, go for it. According to a new survey by Hershey, 60% of Americans agreed it's socially acceptable to start celebrating Halloween before October, and 3/4 say they start decorating outside their homes as early as they want. So go ahead and snack on that candy corn if you want. It's all good. Well, that's all the time we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is coming right up, and Mark Clark is back to tell us what they're working on. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Shannon, thank you. Have a great weekend. Speaking of the weekend, we're getting you ready for the weekend, talking about your favorite toy as a kid. That's coming up next.